Santa! Oh my god! Peak comedy. Alright, 1 second here. Ah. Anyway, welcome to Wonder After Dark. Enjoy the peace while it lasts because Sylv will be back tomorrow. So tomorrow night, the loneliness ends. Okay, but for realsies, welcome to the show. So, what the hell are we talking tonight? Well, my indecisive ass could not decide on a topic for this episode. I kept going back and forth. I was thinking, do I finish a franchise that I mean to? Do I continue a franchise that I started? Do I cover something holiday, Christmassy, or at the very least wintry? What do I do? Then I went shopping earlier and I just said, you know what? I'm gonna fucking talk Christmas in general. So yeah, I guess this is kind of just a whatever episode, but the good kind of whatever. Yeah, it's November 30th. I don't know why my phone wouldn't turn on there, but yeah, it's November 30th. Which means December 1st is tomorrow, which means it's almost Christmas. So yeah, welcome. Welcome to Christmas. Christmas is one of my favorite holidays. I mean, I'd say in terms of my favorite holidays, it's probably a close tie between Christmas and Halloween for different reasons, but yeah, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Yes, it is. So yeah, but I'd say Christmas is like a close, but yeah, my favorite holiday, probably a close tie between Christmas and Halloween, both for different reasons. Everywhere you go, yep. But yeah, I'm just going to talk different Christmas related things. Oh. Thought I heard something. Anyway, but I'm just going to talk different Christmas related things for this episode, just to kick off the season. Even though technically we kicked it off with A Fairly Odd Christmas last night, but whatever. So yeah, I like Christmas. I like the experience. I like the decorations. I like the vibe. There goes Mother. Good night, Mother. Anyway, but what are some of my favorite Christmas things besides the holiday itself? Well, I like Christmas movies. I like. I mean, yeah, this one's right in my eyesight, so may as well. Like, I like Christmas movies. Like, give me like Home Alone, Elf, Polar Express, National Lampoons. Hell yeah. Like, I'm all over that shit. In fact, there's a certain movie that we're going to cover on December 12th. Get ready. But yeah. What else? What else? I also like Christmas specials. Like Christmas movies and Christmas specials. Because it feels like, I mean, granted, they only come once a year, so it's not that far off, but it feels like they come once in a lifetime. Because you don't see Home Alone, like, Home Alone, just for example, you don't see Home Alone come on TV nearly as much as, like, any other movie. Except, of course, for around the holidays, you know, November, December. Excuse me. And, you know, same for all the other Christmas movies and Christmas specials. You don't see them come on TV nearly as often. Nearly as often. So, yeah. What are some. Oh, another thing I really love seeing, you know, like I said, just going out and just seeing everything decked out in Christmas. I mean, while I do think Halloween has, like, the cooler aesthetic when it comes to decorations, I just think Christmas is prettier. It's not often that I use the word pretty for something to describe something, but I think Christmas decorations are much prettier. Not to say Halloween decorations are ugly at all. Oh no, give me some badass Halloween. I love it. But Christmas is just very pretty, very visually pleasing, very beautiful, I must say. And I think it's because of the combination of the lights and the simplistic color scheme. Just the simple red and green. Two colors that don't mean that much by themselves, but when paired together, add up perfectly. Yeah. And of course, you go out and you hear Christmas music playing. It feels so just perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's just so perfect. Um, and another thing I like about Christmas as a holiday as well is I like, excuse me, it feels like everyone's happier around Christmas. I mean, you still have the bigoted assholes that roam this planet, unfortunately. But in general, though, it feels like everyone's happier around Christmas. Like, I don't know. It's just hard to describe. It feels like everyone's much more calm, much more happy, much more content. Which is ironic, given that Christmas is the season of I'm going to go out and buy a bunch of bullshit just because somebody asked me to. Oh, and you're probably wondering, like, well, what's on your Christmas list, Jessica? Quite a lot. Too much to list. I mean, granted, most of my Christmas list is more so suggestions or things I would like to have versus, hey, mom, dad, now. But yeah. Um, I guess before I continue, what's on your Christmas list, my dearest shithead? And Herbie. I love when movies credit or let me try that again. I love when movies credit characters as if they're actual actors. Godzilla as himself. I love when movies do stuff like that. Vroom, vroom. Anyway, see if I missed anything here. Oh, your sister. why why was I expecting something like that? But yeah, I guess your sister or my sister, whatever. You are also you're watching Goji. Nope. 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 What I was watching was The Love Bug, and the end credits caught my eye there. Lists off the actual cast, and then at the very end, Anne Herbie, and it just reminded me of I forget which one it was, but Godzilla as himself. It just reminded me of that. Parallels or similarities, whatever you want to call them. Brain rot, even. But yeah, what else? Back to what I was saying. But I like Christmas though. But you know what I really, really like about Christmas as a holiday? You know what I love? I know I'm kind of dragging this out. It's just the overall mood that I love. The music, the lights, the decorations. Maybe not the freezing cold weather. I mean, I like cold weather, I just don't like freezing cold. As in, go outside and your dick should be an icicle, but I just like the whole mood, from how happy it feels like everyone is, to the music, to the lights, to the weather, to the movies, the shows, everything. Christmas just feels like happiness. I can't begin to describe it, much less put it into words, but it's just a happy, happy time. Can you tell that I just want this year to be over with? Yeah. But my least favorite thing about Christmas is that it ends. I mean, I get it, once a year at the end of the year feels more special, but like, uh, I just wish it could never end. I just wish. But yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, are there any Christmas-y things you would like to hear me talk about for the remainder of this episode? Because I just basically spent 10 minutes dick-sucking this holiday. So if there's any Christmas-related things you'd like to hear about, just so this isn't just a 10-minute filler, or 11-minute fill, whatever. I'm not sure, because you said everything already. Well, admittedly, yeah, I kind of did. Oops. So, I guess because we started it a little earlier, and because I got... Oh, wait, what does it say? I showed my sisters the water slide clip from It's Always Sunny. That is one of my favorite episodes of... Not Christmas... No. Always Sunny just reminded me of something, but I'll save that for later. Okay, but that is one of my favorite clips from It's Always Sunny, and that's one of my favorite episodes of It's Always Sunny. I eagerly await the day I review that show on this show, because I have a lot to say about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. A lot. A lot. A lot of news, with many different facts about... Anyway. Okay, because I basically just kind of said everything, I guess I'm just gonna review a bunch of Christmas things, like... Well, to be a little more specific, I'm going to describe 2 traditions, show 2 things, and then I guess spend the rest of this episode reviewing miscellaneous Christmas specials. Starting with what happened today. So I went out, did some early Christmas shopping. Now, the rest of the stuff that we bought today, put up for Christmas, it will be under the tree that is soon to be up, but my mom graciously let me keep one thing early. I am not going to yell this dialogue, but as Santa Claus said in the Polar Express, the first gift of Christmas. Yeah. Yes, of all things, the beekeeper. Have any of you heard of this one? No, I don't imagine, but hey, got to have it early. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, and then the gracious bastards. Hey, it's the beekeeper. Okay, I guess you have heard of that movie. And then the gracious bastards over at the Walt Disney Company decided to leave a present in the mailbox because they don't provide shipping updates on when these things come anymore, but yeah. The one where it's about a dude who attacks scammers. Oh, you're cultured. But yeah, so this also came... By the way, Disney Movie Insiders is showing up. I swear I'm not that good of a klutz normally. Y'all ever heard of the phrase a bull in a china shop? Now have you heard of the movie Ferdinand starring John Cena? Anyway, but yeah, the beekeeper. We're the one where it's about a dude who attacks scammers. Very cultured, I see. But yeah. Yeah. So I guess technically I got 2 early Christmas presents. Technically. Even though West Side Story over there was ordered by me way before. But I wouldn't know when it's coming because Disney stopped giving shipping updates because they're shutting down insiders. But yeah. And I got 2 more things on the way. One of them is a complete mystery, so that should be fucking fun. But yeah. And speaking of early Christmas presents, another family tradition of mine around Christmas is we're usually allowed to open one gift, one present early on Christmas Eve. I can't think of any off the top of my head that I've gotten, but that's a fun tradition. It's a very fun one. We open one gift early on Eve as well. Glad to know I'm not alone. I've heard some families do that, but I've also not. Like, it's kind of inconsistent. Some families do it, some don't. Yeah. It's kind of hit and miss from what I've seen. And another family tradition of ours, at least from the last couple of years, I actually do not know exactly how many years my family's been doing this, but sometimes, some years we've gone to the movies to see a new movie in theaters on Christmas Day. I can't recall exactly when that tradition in my family started, but what I do recall is there are 2 years in recent history where we did not do that. 2020, because theaters were still shut down because of COVID, and 2021, because COVID shut all of us down. I mean, I don't think it was COVID per se, but we were definitely all fucking sick in 2021. But then in 2022, we saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. That was really great, by the way. And in 2023, we saw Migration. Take a wild shot in the dark as to what 2024 will be. Take a wild shot in the dark, because it's the single most predictable answer known to man. If you guessed ADHD versus autism, aka Sonic 3, you would be no. Well, also, if you guessed no, you would be correct. Yeah, Sonic 3. Yeah. Okay, well, since I've basically exhausted through what should have been an hour of material in just 17 minutes, I guess I'm just going to review some miscellaneous Christmas specials in no real particular order, just because we have a bit more time to kill than we normally do. That, and I'm feeling extra generous because this is the season of giving. Review Elf, okay? Plus, no particular order, so you know what? Elf it is. I mean, again, doesn't matter what order I go in, but here we fucking go. Also, time for me to enter everybody's favorite, reading mode. Elf is a 2003 American Christmas comedy film directed by our hot dad, Jon Favreau, and written by, oh god, I always struggle with names, David Berenbaum, I think that's how you say that. It stars Will Ferrell as Buddy the Elf, Buddy, a human raised by Santa's elves who learns about his origins and heads to New York City to meet his biological father. I mean, technically, it's not wrong to say Buddy the Elf, even though he's a human, but you know. Anyway, James Caan, rest in peace. I forget the director of Iron Man and The Mandalorian made Elf. I forget that too, honestly. Coincidentally, you saying The Mandalorian was accidental foreshadowing. Anyway, James Caan, rest in peace, Zooey Deschanel, Mary Steenburgen, Ed Asner, and Bob Newhart appear in supporting roles. And I find it very unfortunate that 3 of them are dead now. Anyway, the film was produced by New Line Cinema and Guy Walks Into a Bar. That is actually what this says. And distributed by New Line Cinema. The film released on November 7th, 2003, had a budget of just $33 million and made $228.9 million. I don't even need to say that's a big success. That just is a big success. Anyway, it became a major critical and commercial success, grossing $220 million worldwide against a $33 million budget. Ferrell's performance as Buddy in particular was praised by critics, rightfully so. The film also inspired the 2010, I can't read. The film also inspired the 2010 Broadway musical, Elf the Musical, and NBC's 2014 stop-motion animated television special, Elf, Buddy's Musical Christmas. If you didn't know there was a musical, and you definitely didn't know there was a stop-motion television special, now you know. Anyway, it has been hailed by many as a modern classic and is often listed in one of the best Christmas films of all time, which I may have to agree with. Anyway, David Birnbaum initially wrote the script in 1993, with Chris Farley and Jim Carrey being early candidates to play Buddy. Could you imagine Jim Carrey as Buddy? I don't mean that as an insult, it's just that would have been a very different timeline. Anyway, Barenbaum's screenplay underwent uncredited rewrites by Scott Armstrong, Chris Henke, and the writing team of Adam McKay and Will Ferrell. Gary Shandling was offered the role of Walter Hobbs, but declined. Wanda Sykes was originally cast as the Gimbals manager, but later dropped out. I like Wanda Sykes. Terry Zwigoff, that's a goofy name, was offered to direct the film, but he turned it down in favor of Bad Santa. Stay tuned. Anyway. According to Jon Favreau, the script was initially much darker and did not interest him. Although he was interested in I wonder if Elf came out in the 90s, people would like it more. I feel like if it came out specifically after A Night at the Roxbury, people probably would have liked it more. Like if it specifically came out within 1 to 2 years after A Night at the Roxbury. It's a very divided film nowadays. Yeah, I know that. But I feel like if it came out like around the time frame I'm describing, it probably would be much more beloved. But anyway. Now, as I just said, the initial script was much darker, but so are most 2000s films. Yep. I would say Thomas and the Magic Railroad, but we already reviewed that one. But I will say it is very divisive, and always has been. Anyway. The initial script was much darker. A darker Elf film is just so not needed. Agree. Which is why the initial script did not interest Jon Favreau, the darker script. Although Jon Favreau was interested with working with Pharrell's first post-SNL movie. Asked to rewrite it, a turning point came when he realized he could make Buddy's World an homage to the Rankin Bass Christmas specials. Which, as somebody who barely remembers those specials, that is the best decision he ever made. This allowed him to conceive This allowed him to conceive of a movie that could be PG rated, as opposed to the original script, which he guessed would have been rated PG-13. And this picture of Jon Favreau just distracted me because he looks so, not to say that he doesn't look normal all the time, but he looks like just such an ordinary guy here. But anyway, principal photography take a shot of the strongest liquor in your parents' cupboard every time I fuck up a word. Anyway, principal photography began on December 9th, 2002, and wrapped on March 7th, 2003. Filming took place in New York City, as well as in Vancouver and at Riverview Hospital in Coquitlam, British Columbia. Coquitlam. Coquitlam. Coquitlam? Coquitlam? If you needed a good out-of-context moment, there you go. The film makes heavy use of forced perspective to exaggerate the size of Buddy compared to all the other elves. Stop-motion animation was employed for certain sequences, and CGI usage was kept to a minimum due to Favreau's own preference, something that he later noted he had to fight very hard for. Based. That's all I can say there, just based. Will Ferrell said in interviews that he suffered ill effects after eating too much sugar for the film. damn. Zoe Deschanel said her singing was not in the original script, and Favreau added it when he learned she was a singer. Another great decision. When Buddy starts singing in the middle of Santaland at Gimbals, the lyrics were not scripted, and Will Ferrell improvised the song on the spot. The scene in which Buddy screams out Santa when Wanda says he is coming was also completely improvised by Ferrell. I guess another, yeah. My brain is just on fire. Anyway, apart from snow, most of the CGI imagery in the film was created by Rhythm and Hues Studios. Most of the film feels improvised. It really does. Like, so few of Elf feels scripted, but I mean that in the best way. Like, like, I mean, like, again, I just mean that in the best way. Like, it does not feel scripted in a lot of ways. Anyway, Buddy's belch or burp on this show after drinking a 2-liter bottle of Coca-Cola was dubbed by voice actor Maurice LaMarche. According to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cordonal, we now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cordonal, the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cordonal. I'm so brain rotted. But what about that damn reception? On Rotten Tomato, hot take. Will Ferrell is a master at ad-libbing and improvising. I mean, you could call that a hot take, but it's a hot take that I will agree with. I do think he really is a master at that. He just is, okay? Like, that's not something I can disagree with. He just is a master. But anyway, that's nice. I didn't know you were into that show. Okay, yeah, I know I just got so distracted, but anyway. On Rotten Tomatoes, Elf holds an approval rating of 86% based on 202 reviews and an average rating of 7.1 out of 10. As I always say, 0 to 50 in 4. I love how that just kind of became a catchphrase of this show just by complete accident. I just said it and then I never stopped. Anyway, the consensus reads, a movie full of Yuletide cheer, Elf is a spirited, good-natured family comedy, and it benefits greatly from Will Ferrell's funny and charming performance as one of Santa's biggest helpers. Probably the most positive review we have maybe ever read on this show. I mean, there's been a few other positive ones here and there, but very positive. On Metacritic, the film has a weighted average score of 66 out of 100 based on 39 critics, indicating generally favorable reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of A- on an A+ to F scale. And then, oh god, everybody's favorite, Roger Ebert, gave it 3 out of 4 stars, calling it one of those rare Christmas comedies that has a heart, a brain, and a wicked sense of humor, and it charms the socks right off the mantelpiece. The rare Roger Ebert review on this show where he has not found some negative aspect. Anyway, Peter Travers of Rolling Stone, another name that it feels like we hear a lot, gave the film 2 out of 4. Oh no. These are not... well, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. It just feels like we hear negative ones more. It just feels like it. So really, why should you trust me? But anyway. After all, I'm just the mentally ill loner who is quite the victim. Anyway, Peter Travers of Rolling Stone gave the film 2 out of 4 stars. Oh no. Saying, Ferrell makes the damn thing work. Even though he can't get naked or use naughty words. There's a devil of comedy in Farrell, and he lets it out to play. Director Jon Favreau has the good sense to just stand out of his way. How down bad are you that you want to see Will Ferrell get naked? Just just that. Even though he can't get naked or use naughty words. How down bad do you have to be to want to see Will Ferrell's dick? I mean, to be fair though, I've seen a lot of dick in my life, but still. And yes, I will proudly admit that I've seen a lot of dick on this show. Because it feels like on Wonder After Dark we've said every possible TMI thing to the point where there is no such thing as TMI. I mean, shit, we're out here just saying shit like, we got targeted harassment, I'm naked, and shit like that. Like, there is no such thing as TMI on Wonder After Dark. There is only I. And you can't spell I without we. Anyway. The Hollywood Reporter gave the film a positive review, saying, while the words instant holiday classic might be pushing it, Elf is at the very least a breezily entertaining, perfectly cast family treat. And then this is the last review I'm going to read. A.O. Scott of the New York Times also gave the film a positive review, saying, Elf is a charming, silly family Christmas movie more likely to spread real joy than a migraine, indigestion, and sugar shock. The movie succeeds because it at once restrains its sticky, gooey good cheer and wildly overdoes it. Wow. Alright. Yeah. Alright, let me close these, and now we'll get to release. What about that bitch-ass home video? You know, home video. Anyway. Elf was released on DVD and VHS on November 16th, 2004. And it was later released on UMD video for PSP, although the release date for that is not listed here. For some reason, like, I love how they could get the release dates for the other formats, but not the UMD. But anyway, then it was released on Blu-ray on October 28th, 2008, days before Halloween, funnily enough. And then finally, it was released on 4K Ultra HD on November 1st, 2022. Yeah. And an interesting tidbit right here, it is one of the only DVDs to be rated PG under the Infinifilm label. Oh yeah, because New Line Cinema had a line of DVDs called... let me try again. New Line Cinema had a line of DVDs called Infinifilm. And I guess Elf was one of the few DVDs to be PG rated. Kind of interesting, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, a video game was released on November 4th, 2004. Yeah. And finally, on September 18th, 2013, Mental Floss reported that Favreau was interested in making a sequel to the film. Titled Elf 2, Buddy Saves Christmas, later in December, Will Ferrell stated that he did not want to make a sequel. In January 2016, Favreau stated that a sequel could still happen. The next month, Ferrell reiterated that a sequel was unlikely and stated that he was generally reluctant to do sequels unless there was a story that justifies it. And then on September 18th, 2020, James Caan, or Caan, whatever, reaffirmed that the possibility of a sequel was unlikely, stating that Ferrell and Favreau did not get along. And given that James Caan passed away, along with Bob Newhart and Ed Asner, I feel like the chances of an Elf sequel are pretty slim. In fact, I feel like we're going to get the worst outcome, a remake. Anyway. But yeah, it looks like a sequel is not likely. Which, do we need one? I mean, I'm 50-50. On the one hand, I think it'd be cool to revisit those characters and revisit that world, but a feature-length movie sequel, even if it's on the same level of quality as the original, no. In fact, I'd settle for like a short film, like a either like a maybe a special would be nice. I don't know. But yeah, of course I have a copy of Elf to show. The Infinifilm DVD. And of course, Elf is one of those movies that's like super common. Like, there are rare movies, Elf is not one of them. You can find this movie crazy easy on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, because it's just been reprinted, re-released, reissued, repackaged countless times. Too many times. Yeah. New Line Home Entertainment, Infinifilm. Go beyond the movie. That iconic, simplistic poster, cover, whatever you want to call it. Infinifilm logo, DVD logo, Elf. Same image from the front. New Line Home Entertainment. The back. Bonus features include Beyond the Movie features, Kids on Christmas, Deck the Halls, Santa Mania, Christmas in Tinseltown, Fat Track, Fun and Games, Elf Karaoke, Read Along, Elf, A Short Story of a Tall Tale, Buddy's Adventure Game, The Race Down Mount Icing, Elf in the City, Snowball Fight, Fix Santa's Sleigh, Secret Elevator O Fun, All Access Pass features, commentaries by Will Ferrell and director Jon Favreau, deleted and alternate scenes, behind the scenes, tag along with Will Ferrell, Film School for Kids, How They Made the North Pole, Lights, Camera, Puffin', That's a Wrap, music from Elf, and then DVD ROM content, make your own storybook, Be an Elf photo galleries from script to screen, image gallery, printable activities, and more. They just don't make DVDs like they used to. Like, I miss when they used to give you a lot of content like this. But anyway, I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm tired. No worries, but I'm still going to keep going without you, if that's okay. If that's okay. I mean, I imagine it is okay, but I'm still going to keep going. So yeah. But I guess before you go, your rating of Elf. You know, then you can go. Just give your rating and then dip. Okay, well, you already dipped, but I guess your rating for Elf would be 10 out of 10. Anyway. Alright, but yeah, disc 1 is the movie in widescreen plus bonus features. And disc 2 is the movie in full screen plus the rest of your bonus features. Okay. It does not need to be stated, but I'm going to state it anyway. Elf is just a great movie. Full stop. Would I call it like the best movie of all time? No. Far from it. But, do I think it's a great movie regardless? Yes, I do. It's got great humor, great acting, great visual effects. Music is just chef's kiss. as I just said, the practical effects and the minimal digital effects seen throughout are just great. I really can't think of very many negatives. Like, every little thought that I have about Elf is just positive. It's just a great, wholesome family film. I mean, it's more than I can say for A Fairly Odd Christmas, which is just harmless. And that's all I can really say about Fairly Odd Christmas. But Elf is a great movie, and one that I highly enjoy. Um, Also, because I have to say something juvenile, I remember, God, it was either last year or 2 years ago. Turn fan on. It was either last year or 2 years ago, I think, when people kept spreading the clip where the Gimbals guy says, "Okay, people, tomorrow morning," but they cut off "oh," so it sounded like he was saying gay people, tomorrow morning," and that was just a meme for just the longest time. It was it's just such a stupid meme. It's stupid but funny. The kind of stupid that I just love. Yeah. What else? What else can I really add? Oh yeah. I actually saw this movie in theaters. I'm pretty sure it was last year. I'm pretty sure. Because they might have been 2 years ago. I don't know which, but either way, at some point recently, within the last 2 years, they reissued it in theaters, re-released it, and I saw that with my mom. That was a great time. Yeah. Yeah, yep. I really can't think of much to add on the discussion of Elf. It's just a really good movie. It's short, sweet. Oh yeah. I guess I should probably give like positives about Elf, or my biggest positives. It's short, sweet, to the point. I just love it. It is a solid 10 out of 10. Alright, well, we are only 44 minutes into this, and even though I don't have an audience anymore, I'm still going to review other miscellaneous holiday specials, again in no real particular order, just to pad out the runtime. So, hang on. Okay. Second here, let me go to it. Alright. Alright. We're going to review some more Christmas specials in no real particular order. Next up, because Spider, our beloved, mentioned It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, I think now is the right time. A Very Sunny Christmas. So, A Very Sunny Christmas was first released on DVD and Blu-ray on November 17th, 2009, but did not air on TV until December 16th, 2010. Wait, what? Let me explain. Let me explain. You see, A Very Sunny Christmas is a very interesting episode of It's Always Sunny, in that it was not aired on TV initially, although it was produced as a part of Season 5. In Copper. In fact, let me just grab my copy of it here. Yep, there it is. Okay, there it is. Okay. Although A Very Sunny Christmas was produced as episode 13 of season 5, and chronologically speaking is the 13th episode of season 5, it was not aired on TV and was instead released straight to DVD and Blu-ray. Anyway, A Very Sunny Christmas is the 13th and last episode of the 5th season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It originally released on DVD and Blu-ray on November 17th, 2009, and aired on TV on December 16th, 2010. Anyway. Now, it aired on TV specifically after Season 6 had finished airing. Now, despite technically being a Season 5 episode, and despite releasing alongside Season 5, because of the fact it aired on TV after Season 6, most listings consider this episode to be the Season 6 finale. Even though that's not true. It's actually the Season 5 finale. But anyway. On Disney Plus and Hulu, the episode is listed alongside Season 6, rather than Season 5, like it should be. But anyway. The episode was 43 minutes in length, twice the length of a typical episode. Anyway, so what is the plot? Well, Christmas is nearly here, and the Patty's gang has got the spirit. For the gang, the holidays have always been a time of trickery, backstabbing, and disappointment, but this year they are determined to rediscover the joy of Christmas. Mac, Charlie, Dennis, Dee, and Frank embark on a holiday adventure filled with stolen toys, childhood videos, naked elves, and a bloody run-in with Santa Claus that is guaranteed to blast Christmas spirit all over. Yep, that about sums it up. Quite well, too. Anyway. Now alright. The special stars the show's regular cast, including... I'm just going to go ahead and eject that. Alright, anyway. The special stars the show's regular cast, including Charlie Day as, of course, Charlie Kelly, Glenn Howerton as Dennis Reynolds, Rob McElhenney, I always struggle with his name, as Mac, Caitlin Olsen as Dee Reynolds, and Danny DeVito as Frank Reynolds. As well as guest starring David Huddleston as Eugene, Gregory Scott Cummins as Luther, Sandy Martin as Mac's mom, Lynn Marie Stewart as Charlie's mom, Pablo Schreiber as Ricky Falcon, or Falcone, however you say it, Ryan Michelle Bath as woman office worker, Mike Beaver as man office worker, Derek Waters as toy store clerk, and Mark Pavanelli as Tiny. And it also co-stars Preston Bailey as young Mac, Charlie Carter as young Dennis, Harley Graham as young Dee, Robbie Tucker as young Charlie, Timothy Goodwin as Christmas Dad, Donovan Scott as Mall Santa, Carly Rothenberg, my apologies, as another mom, is literally what it says. Mark Anthony Samuel as Raisin Number One voiceover, and Gary Anthony Williams as Snowman and Raisin voiceover. Yeah. I'm assuming VO stands for voiceover. I'm assuming. Anyway. An interesting bit of trivia, actually a lot of trivia here. The Lamborghini seen in the episode is red and black, which are the theme colors of red and black. Let me try that again. Can you tell that I've been awake since like 9:40 something a.m.? Let me try that again, because I can't read to save my life. The Lamborghini is yellow and black, not red, yellow and black, the theme colors of the show. Although this could also be interpreted as a reference to the Kill Bill films. I don't know, I feel like either one is intentional. There are multiple Christmas songs in the episode. Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms, Santa Claus is Coming to Town by Bing Crosby featuring the Andrews Sisters, It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year by Andy Williams, Blue Christmas by Elvis Presley, Oh Holy Night by Andy Williams, and White Christmas by Bing Crosby. So it's got quite the soundtrack. Because this episode was not originally broadcast on TV and instead released straight to DVD, the word fuck is used multiple times by multiple characters. Previously in the 4th season premiere, Charlie was yelling, "I ate a fucking monkey D," and it was censored. Also in the episode Mac and Charlie White Trash, Mac does say "fuck you" at the attendant at the pool, but it is also censored. Anyway, Charlie uses the word at least 15 times, possibly more, though it's a bit indistinct at times, during his violent outburst towards Santa. This would later become a more regular occurrence in later seasons of the series when the show moved to FXX. But we'll save that for when we review the show proper. Due to this episode making its broadcast debut in December 2010, it is listed as the last episode of Season 6 on both Disney Plus and Hulu. Although actually it is the last episode of Season 5. The scene where Frank comes out of the couch naked is visually similar to a scene in Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, with a naked Jim Carrey being birthed from a mechanical rhino. When Frank crawls out of the couch, you can briefly see his testicles for a brief second. That's hot. And the fact that that made it onto television. And onto screens in general. Anyway. A scene where Frank rips off the couch was reused in the launch of FXX on Monday, September 2nd, 2013, 2 days before the show moved to FXX for its 9th season, at 7 a.m., which replaces Fox Soccer. Yeah. This episode, let me try again. The DVD for this episode went on sale on Danny DeVito's birthday, November 17th. Happy birthday, Danny! And 2 days before the Dennis System was first aired. Such a classic episode. There is a slight editing snafu, as actually what that says. There is a slight editing error during Charlie's Santa freakout right before Mac elbows the lady at the mall. The stereo receiver, which Luther is stealing during Mac's childhood, Christmas morning, is likely a Technics SA 390 quartz stereo receiver manufactured and released in 1986. Whoever wrote this page is autistic. Danny DeVito was hesitant about the snowblower scene. He thought it would be dangerous. And Charlie Day actually bruised his ribs during the filming of that same scene. The stop-motion animation scene, which was animated by Cup of Coffee Studios, is an homage to the 1964 Christmas classic cartoon Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. A page for their work on this episode can also be found on their website. This is the first episode that gives a specific date for the day rather than just a day of the week. 9 a.m. on Christmas Eve, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The episode, The Maureen Ponderosa Wedding Massacre, gives the date as Friday the 13th. The title sequence is also changed to show Christmas lights and decorations around Philadelphia, and the theme is remixed to add jingle bells, as is a lot of the other music in this episode. Anyway. The Sergio Giorgianini bag, I don't even know if I said that correctly, that Frank buys to taunt Dee is a reference to the UK version of The Office, in which office manager David Brent brags about having a Sergio Giorgiani leather jacket. So I guess the UK Office and Sunny take place in the same universe, which is actually really cool. For the TV broadcast of this episode, Charlie's question of "Did you fuck my mom?" to Santa is redubbed with "Did you sex my mom?" Yeah. If you look closely during the mall freakout scene, Rickety Cricket is in the crowd. And finally, the model train set that Frank sets up on the bar is a Lionel O-gauge Polar Express set with extra pieces of track added to run the full length of the bar. This particular train set is, of course, a tie-in product with the 2004 animated movie of the same name. That is literally what this page says. Whoever wrote this page is chronically autistic. And I do not mean that as an insult. I mean that as the highest compliment. Anyway. Oh, wait, what does it say? Thanks, Discord, for reminding me. Okay, anyway. Now, as I previously stated, although this episode... I have been up on my feet for a while. Okay. Anyway, although this episode was originally produced as a part of Season 5 and is the last episode of Season 5, it was released straight to DVD. And here is that DVD. There was also a Blu-ray release, but I don't own it. It was actually the first piece of media in the show to get a Blu-ray. Although that Blu-ray release is kind of pointless because the show was not being filmed in HD at the time. So I imagine the Blu-ray probably didn't look that much better than this DVD. But hey, I'd like to have it someday. Anyway. Simplistic cover art, but it's nice. 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. A Very Sunny Christmas. DVD logo. The back, of course. Bonus features include Young Charlie and Young Mac deleted scenes, behind the scenes making of featurette, and Sunny sing along. Not a lot of content, but I guess it makes sense because this isn't like a complete season release. And there's the disc, which is, nice little Christmas tree. How wholesome. Okay, A Very Sunny Christmas is a great special. It goes without saying. If you're a fan of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you will love A Very Sunny Christmas. It is a great sunny episode, a great sunny special. It's just great all around. Although I will say something about it that does have me kind of in think mode is, okay, as I said plenty of times, this was basically a straight-to-video special. It did not get a television release, at least until later. But my question is, despite how popular A Very Sunny Christmas is, how successful was it actually? Because I feel like if it was a huge success, they probably would have done more Always Sunny straight-to-DVD specials in this same style. But they never did. This was the only episode to be released straight to DVD, and it was the only holiday special to be released straight to DVD, and it was the only double-length episode. Now, of course, they would keep doing a bunch of two-parters, which I guess technically count as double-length, but this is the only proper double-length special. So I have to wonder, did the DVD and Blu-ray of this episode sell poorly, and thus Fox decided not to do this experiment again? Or was this purely just a one and done? Honestly, the likely answer is that it was probably just a one and done, but still. Actually, I feel like the other likely answer was that it was an experiment to see like if they could do straight to video specials, and then just didn't really work out. I don't know. But either way, just like Elf, it earns a 10 out of 10. Alright, now we're going to put this away, back where I usually have it. 1 second. My ass hurt. Hey, Copper. You cold? It's winter. I guess while I'm over here, I'll just edit this real quick. For realsies, put this back where it goes. There we go. Now we're going to take kind of a 9.5 minute intermission for a minute before we continue. So, 2024 is almost over. Not only is it almost Christmas, but 2024 is almost over. This year flew by pretty fast. I mean, fast and slow at the same time, honestly. Like, it feels like this year flew by fast, but it feels like it also flew by really slow at the same time. Kind of funny how time works. The love bug. But for real, this year flew by kind of fast. And it's hard to believe that this year is about over. Would I call 2024 a good year? Short answer, no. Long answer, stay tuned for our New Year's special. That's the long answer. Stay tuned for the New Year's special. Because I plan to do one. What else? But do I have any hopes for 2025? I think as we get closer to New Year's, I'll describe those hopes. But we'll save that for another time. Over the course of December on Wonder After Dark, I plan to review, just like we did for Halloween, where I tried, keyword tried, to review as many Halloween movies and specials as possible. For Christmas, I want to try and review as many Christmas movies and specials as possible. Do I think I'll be able to do it? Hard to tell. Also, real talk before I continue as well. Just like how I believe that the Halloween season doesn't end until like the first week of November, I also believe that the Christmas holiday season doesn't end until like January 1st, I would say. Like early January is, even though like everyone's taking down their Christmas decorations like basically the day after Christmas, I feel like January 1st is when Christmas is like over. Still fresh on your mind, but otherwise over. But yeah. But stay tuned for Christmas and New Year's. Okay. Feels so much later than just 11:55. And of course, got to cut that music off for peak comedic timing. Yep, peak comedic, peak funny. that's posted. Alright. I guess before we wrap up this intermission and move on to our next string of reviews, just wait for this to post. Seems to be one of the quicker TikToks. And it's posted. Okay. Alright, I guess before we move on to the next little Christmas holiday thing that I would like to talk about, I guess what I want to say is God, no head thoughts empty. I need to go to bed soon. God. My brain is just always doing cartwheels when I do this show, even when it's not just complete chaos. Alright. Now it's time for the funny image. You know, the thing that we always do at midnight. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Just Cousin Eddie. Merry Christmas! Exeter was full. Yep, pretty much. That's about the size of it. Pretty much. Alright, I'm going to turn this heater off for a little bit because my head is starting to hurt. There we go. Alright. Okay. So the next little thing I would like to talk about related to the Christmas season, a certain DVD that has been bugging me for years now, which is down here. Yep, there it is. Okay. So the Thomas and Friends franchise is no stranger to Christmas, no stranger to the winter holidays. Although we'll save that for another time this month. But right now, I specifically want to talk about this DVD, which released in 2017. Now, typically, at this point in the timeline, you would get one Thomas and Friends Christmas release. That being Christmas on Sodor, which released in 2017, contained, I think that's about 7 or 8 episodes, and it's a mix of episodes from season 20 and season 21, with the majority being from season 21. And the disc art, if you can call it that, very simplistic and hard to see on camera, but yeah, there it is. But interestingly, this same year, Mattel and Universal released this. Thomas's Holiday Collection, a DVD containing 35 classic episodes. Although that's kind of a half lie. You'll find out how in a minute. Anyway, Mattel Creations, Thomas and Friends, Thomas's Holiday Collection, picture of Thomas from the front, DVD logo, Universal, because they were the distributors at the time. No bonus features or episodes are listed, although it does say plus bonus features. Yeah. Alright, now what this is it is just a repackage and reprint of 6 previously released Thomas and Friends DVDs. So let's just go through this in order. Merry Winter Wish. Okay, that makes pretty good sense to be here. It's not the best, but it makes sense. You know, Christmas, winter, perfect. Thomas's Snowy Surprise. That has some great episodes, and that makes, again, perfect sense to be here. Oops. Shit. Okay, Thomas and the Toy Workshop. Huh? I mean, Toys Christmas, yeah, there's kind of a connection there, but none of the episodes on here are related to the holiday. And there's not even any wintry episodes, I don't think. So why is this here, other than the title? Merry Christmas, Thomas. Okay, that's another good one. That makes sense to be here. Ultimate Christmas. Okay, that has a lot of episodes, and again, that makes sense to be here. Although, it's a little redundant to be included. Remember when I said that 35 classic episodes was kind of a half-lie? Here's why I say that. Some of the episodes that are on Thomas's Snowy Surprise are also on Ultimate Christmas. So, yeah, you get kind of some repeats there. I guess to artificially beef up the number. And then Holiday Express. Not the best holiday compilation, but a good one. It's got some good episodes. Random Data. Actually does say on the disc there, Random Data. But yeah, this DVD has been bugging me, because, like, this was, for the better part of 2 years, how the North American Thomas and Friends home video lineage ended. Until Big World, Big Adventures came out on DVD in 2019, 2 years later. But for 2 years, this was it. Just a glorified compilation repack of 6 previously released discs that I guarantee to you were already available in stores at the same time as this, in the same stores. And on top of that, 6 that I feel like they only chose based on name alone. Again, Thomas and the Toy Workshop. What? Ultimate Christmas. Some of these episodes are already on Snowy Surprise. Yeah. I feel like they only chose some of these discs based on title alone. But this is a good set, and it is one I do recommend. So yeah, if you can find it, which I don't imagine it would be that hard to find. So yeah. I mean, even though this is an old release at this point, you know, 2017. But yeah. But still, though, that DVD has perplexed me and bewildered me for the longest time. Just the absolute longest time. Okay. Now on to another special, or actually a movie in this case. Since we reviewed Elf earlier, I think it's fitting that we cover another Will Ferrell title. Let me go grab it here. There Now, this next review is not a Christmas movie or a Christmas special, but it does have snow and it does have winter, so I'd say it roughly meets the eligibility requirements. Roughly. Downhill is a 2020 American black comedy drama film directed by Nat Faxon and Jim Rash, who also co-wrote the script with Jesse Armstrong. The film is a remake of Force Majeure from 2014 by Swedish director Ruben Östlund. It stars Downhill, the remake, stars Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Will Ferrell as a married couple going through a rough patch after a near-death encounter during a family ski outing. Yeah. The film was produced by Searchlight Pictures, Likely Story, Film Haas Films, and TSG Entertainment, and was distributed by Searchlight Pictures. The film premiered at the Sundance Film Festival on January 26, 2020, and went into general wide release on February 14th, 2020. And I guarantee to you, nobody saw this movie because everyone was busy watching Sonic. I should know, I was one of those people. And I will live and die by the Sonic movies. Yeah. Anyway. The film had a... Alright. Although the film's budget is not listed here... Yeah. Interestingly, I cannot find the film's budget, but it does say that the film made $9 million at the box office. Again, kind of interesting that the budget is not listed, but anyway. Downhill had its world premiere at the Sundance Film Festival on January 26, 2020, and was theatrically released on February 14th, 2020 by Searchlight Pictures. It was the first film to be released under the studio's new name following the Walt Disney Company's acquisition of 20th Century Fox, or 21st Century Fox. Because, excuse me, because, Disney bought 20th Century Fox and Fox Searchlight, and to avoid both confusion and association with the Fox Corporation, they changed 20th Century Fox to 20th Century Studios, and Fox Searchlight simply had their name abbreviated to Searchlight Pictures. Anyway. Downhill was the first film to be released under the new Searchlight Pictures name, following the acquisition. The film received mixed reviews from critics and grossed $9 million worldwide. Alright, it was announced in... Alright, excuse me. It was announced in November 2018 that an English-language remake of the Swedish film Force Majeure would be directed by Nat Faxon and Jim Rash, who both co-wrote the script with Jesse Armstrong. Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Will Ferrell were cast to star. Miranda Otto, Zoe Chow, and Zach Woods also joined the cast in December. Christopher Hivju appears in the film, the only original cast member from Force Majeure to be involved. Filming began in January 2019 in Austria, although it does not say when production wrapped. They seem to really want this movie to be just swept under the rug. They don't want any information about this one out there. Anyway, the film was, of course, released on February 14th, 2020, replacing Fox's Kingsman prequel, The King's Man, which had been scheduled for that date. And I feel like The King's Man had... And I feel like The Kingsman has probably been the most delayed movie in all of history. Anyway, what about that motherfucking reception? On Rotten Tomatoes, the film holds an approval rating of 37% based on 211 reviews with an average rating of 5.3 out of 10. 0 to 50 and 4. The consensus reads, fittingly named for a remake whose charms are dwarfed by its superior source material, Downhill is frequently and frustratingly less than the sum of its talented parts. On Metacritic, the film holds a weighted average score of 49 out of 100 based on 39, 0 to 50 and 4 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average grade of D on an A+ to F scale, and Post-Tracks reported it received an average 1 out of 5 stars, with 26% of people saying they would definitely recommend it. On RogerEbert.com, Nick Allen gave the film 2 out of 4 stars, saying, "It's yet another instance in which it's hard to not think about what could have been, especially since the original did it much better." And finally, the film was released on DVD, Blu-ray, and digital platforms on May 19th, 2020 by Buena Vista Home Entertainment, becoming the first Searchlight Pictures film to be released physically directly by Disney. Up to this point, 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment had remained an active, separate subsidiary from Buena Vista. But in 2020, they were folded and absorbed. And of course, I have that Blu-ray copy right here. Blu-ray plus digital code, multi-screen edition, back when Disney was using that stupid branding. No slipcover for this title. Of course, this being a COVID era, pandemic era release, they didn't really print any slips for this one. And I imagine that they never did. The Call of the Wild did get a slipcover, but only if you ordered it through Disney Movie Club. While the retail release did not have a slip. Downhill just doesn't have a slipcover at all, regardless of where you buy it. So I guess they just never made slips. But anyway, Blu-ray logo, Downhill, same image from the front, 20th Century Studios, product number, the back with your information and everything. Bonus features include origins of the film, outtakes, locations, and deleted scenes. Not a lot, but that's kind of to be expected with a Searchlight Pictures release, and just a modern Disney release in general. Copyright 2020, 20th Century Fox Film Corporation. Copyright 2020, 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment. Distributed by Buena Vista Home Entertainment. 2023, or not 2023, 2020 Blu-ray release. I am so tired. Anyway. Well, actually, I don't know why I bother hiding the digital codes, because I've already redeemed them all, but There's the disc, just the typical Disney white text on a blue background. Very simplistic. Yeah. Okay. So what do I think of Downhill? Is it a good movie? Is it bad like everyone says? Well, I can't find much of anything wrong with it. I mean, keep in mind, do keep in mind, I have not seen the source material, that being Force Majeure. I have not seen the Swedish original film. So I don't really have anything, and actually, I don't even know how easily accessible or readily available it is in America. But I have nothing to compare it to. But is it as bad as everyone says it is? Well, in my opinion, no. I'm sure, if I watch the original movie that it's a remake of, it probably is a lot better. And I probably will then finally realize what makes this one so bad. But as it stands, I can't find much of anything wrong with it. Is it particularly funny? I mean, it's got, some decent laughs throughout. But at the same time, it's not meant to be like a funny experience. It's meant to be like a complete downer. I mean, why else do you think it's called Downhill? Because it's supposed to be just a complete bummer. It's supposed to be just kind of miserable. It's not supposed to be particularly pleasant. Now, is it? No. And because of that, I think tonally speaking, it works really well. Really, really well. And of course, I do think the cast in this movie is really nice too. They're all great in their roles. Yeah. But truthfully, like, again, maybe I'll need to watch Force Majeure. Okay. I am itchy. Itchy, itchy, itchy. But yeah, I'm sure if I watch Force Majeure, I probably will realize what's so bad about Downhill. But as it stands, I can't find much wrong with it. But I also am not going to deny. I'll give it a I don't know out of 10. Even though it is a movie I do like and I do enjoy, I'll give it an I don't know out of 10. I don't know out of 10. A different kind of disaster movie. Well, indeed it is. Also, not gonna lie, that tagline kind of makes this sound like a parody movie or a straight comedy. You know I'm right. But anyway, let's put this back on the shelf. Back on the shelf you go. Yeah. There we go. Alright. Well, we just got our taste of the holiday season. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, this is the first time since the From Dusk Till Dawn episode where we've reviewed 3 pieces of media in the same episode. I'm pretty sure. I know we've had a lot of double features lately, but I'm pretty sure this is the first one since From Dusk Till Dawn where we've reviewed 3 things in the same episode. Since then. Alright, but yeah. We just got our taste of the holiday season. 1 day down, 25 to go. Or 31, depending on how long you consider Christmas to be. 25, 31, depending on how long you see Christmas. Well, I can't really think of much else to say before we wrap up this episode. Just posting this. There we go. Alright. I really can't add much to this general discussion. I really can't add much to the rest of this episode. That, and I've already yapped my head off for an hour and 39 minutes. So I guess before we go, I just want to say, Christmas is in the air. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I hope you all have a merry and happy Christmas and a happier New Year. Well, actually, they should both be happy. They should both be the same level of happy, now that I think about it. I hope you fulfill your New Year's resolutions. And I hope you're ready for tomorrow night, because we're going to find out what the biggest and most legendary disappointment of all time is, and why there is a simple explanation for that. But will I elaborate further? No, because I've said enough. But for now, that's all the time we have for tonight. But always remember, eat your cereal, go to bed, to be continued. God made you special and he loves you very much. If you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Good night, and Merry Christmas. Have a day.